Hi everybody. So today we are going to compare the Marshmallow Marseille Tarot by Wandering Oracle with the deck which inspired it, or the deck which this is a redrawn of, if I can say that. I'm not quite sure if the creator is watching this, but if he or she is watching this, he or she can feel free to correct me. So thanks to Louise of Tarot Breeze, and I will link her video down below, I managed to go through this deck before I ordered it, and I have seen this deck floating around, or the cards rather, floating around various Facebook group, and I remember there was a question about the dots, the pink dots that scattered all over the images, and I remember thinking, well, that's an interesting looking deck, but I never really put two and two together until Louise showed her copy of this. This is a vintage facsimile of a 17th century, was it? Or is it an 18th century deck by Angelo Valla, I think? And Wandering Oracle on their website stated that the Marshmallow Marseille was inspired by this deck, an 18th or 17th, why do I not remember that, century deck from a particular region in Italy, I believe. Was that France? So my research on historical decks haven't gotten quite to this area yet. This is titled, this is a German, so and the packaging is quite interesting because the book is attached to the packaging like so, which is good because often when you have a deck of cards stored separately from the book, it's very, for me anyway, I find it quite hard to keep them together. So this is by Peter Ortmann, and this is Falken Taschenbuch, or Falken something book, I suppose. And I'll put a bit of information, and there's a blog as well, which the creator of Marshmallow Marseille kindly forwarded to me, that I will link below as well. So everything here is in German, and so I will put this aside. Oops, sorry. We're having a particularly pink day today. And so let's take this out. Okay, that's a bit tight. Hold on, I will come back. So the card is really thin. I don't know if this is cardstock or just pieces of thick paper. Yeah, you can see the bend, it doesn't bounce back there. So the cardstock's not that great, but I am probably not going to use this. I probably will use this as a reference deck instead, because why would I if I have the Wandering Oracle's Marshmallow Marseille, right? Well, I suppose the original facsimile always has its own charm, so maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. Okay, so this is not in order, so again I will come back to you. Well, interestingly, not only are they not in order, but they're not all the right side up, or the upside up, or the, you know what I mean, they're kind of some faces up and some other cards are facing down like that. See those dots there, those pink dots? Yeah, so I remember this deck from the pink dots. Someone was asking. It could be the Marseille group, the English Marseille group, but it could be another group. I honestly can't recall. But the question was, what's with the dots? Are they aesthetic? Were they supposed to mean something? And if, you know, if the dots mean something, what might it be? So right, so here we go. So according to, from what I heard of Louise's video, the Valla has one red and one blue version, they call it. And I think this one here, this particular German facsimile of it, is a red version, I think? Or was that the blue version? As I said, my research haven't really quite gotten to this particular region and this particular century yet. No, I suppose not so much a century, but the region. And so I know nothing of the Valla deck other than what I heard from Louise's video, and I'll link that below. And I think she's done a bit of more research and went to see the other version. And I wonder if that blue or red is the dots or the color scheme perhaps. And so you can see the dots here in the Marshmallow Marseille is, I wonder if this is the blue version and that's the red version. I really don't know whether the Marshmallow Marseille is based on the red or the blue version, or both, or neither. But I have received confirmation from the creator that the Marshmallow Marseille is indeed a redrawing of the Valla. And the website, Wandering Oracle website, indeed indicated the region and the century of the Valla. Just sometimes all these decks, sometimes are referred to different, using different terms in different conversations, like the Budapest, excuse me, the Budapest Tarot is called Budapest Tarot because there's a collection in the Budapest National either library or museum. This is Tarot Sheets Revival's remake of it. And Robert Place call it the Ferrara Tarot, but it is actually the same images as the Budapest Tarot. So Robert Place used the term Ferrara for the region from which the images emerged, and Budapest Tarot is called Budapest Tarot, alluding to which collection that those particular set of images came from, which is the Budapest either library or museum, I can't remember, excuse me. This is comparison between the Valla on the left, which is a vintage facsimile of the original. There it is, Angelo Valla in Trieste. Marshmallow Marseille website indicated 17th or 18th century deck from Trieste, and so this is the deck that they were referring to. I'll put more information about the Valla deck down below. This is a German edition. I mean, it was published by a German publishing company, and with it is a book in German, and I'll put the details down below as well. The majors appear to be more of a strict redrawing, while the minors, the pips, there's some embellishments with them in the Marshmallow Marseille with the vegetations, as well as Roman numeral and titling, obviously, instead of along the top and along the bottom. The Marshmallow Marseille has titling and numbering inside the artwork itself, scattered in various places. So the Marshmallow Marseille is not reversible really if you look at that, although you can choose to read it reverse, but it's interesting with the 4 at the bottom and 3 at the top. Reminds me of the Udis Picard minors, systems of minors. It depends on how you read the minors, if you do read the minors at all in pip decks or Marseille style decks, or Marseille patterned decks, or should I say. How the vegetations are portrayed might or might not affect your reading. So the 9 is reductive, here is additive there. Sorry, I sped up a little bit just now because I wasn't going to be alone in the house. What I will do is I'll speed up and you can pause and freeze the images to study them or compare them at your own leisure. So I never really know whether the swords are up or down. I tend to put my swords up. So this one's a little bit more, the plant there, this one's a bit more bottom up or upright, or depending on, but the Roman numeral here isn't reversible, while this one is, depending on how you read. For now I don't read the minors for Marseille style decks. Okay, so this clearly the sword's down instead of up, while I have somehow, maybe because of the Rider-Waite-Smith influence, where the swords are upward. I wonder if because the ratio is different here, so instead of the sword going through this way, it's this way, which makes it for a rather interesting dynamic, visually speaking. Cutting through stability, cutting through stagnation. I really like that. Is it this way or that way? Don't know. For now, I hope that gives an idea of how the Marshmallow Tarot as a redrawing of the Valla looks like next to each other. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!